Good afternoon, YouTube. Now, first off, I want to say that I apologize for not being on as much as I have been in the last month. This last week or so, between my home life and my work life at the clinic, things have been like, okay. I'm sure that some of you can relate that sometimes life will take off like a freaking jet. So I'm gonna start this off. I'm gonna start this product. You guys seem to like my product reviews, so I'm gonna start this off by giving credit to whoever it was that created the app YouTube Studio. Those of you that have YouTube channels, go to your Play Store, App Store, whatever it's called. Find YouTube Studio. It's by the same people that created YouTube Music. I think YouTube Gaming. There's like 5 different YouTubes. Find YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio allows you to customize the thumbnail of your video, meaning I guess you'd say the eye candy, whatever people are going to see. That's what people see before they actually open the video. And your thumbnail can be anything. It can be a gallery picture. It'll give you a handful of little selections through your video. Like if your video has something that you want to be the thumbnail, you can play around with it. Find whatever part of the video that you want to be the thumbnail, and you can upload that as a thumbnail. You can choose a gallery picture, or you can create your own picture through another app. YouTube Studio does not actually create a thumbnail for you. It just allows you to simply change it. You can change the title. You can change the information. You can set the category. You can set age limits. You can do literally everything to your video that you want to through YouTube Studio. And here's the best part: YouTube Studio will give you in-depth analytics. It'll tell you how many times, what videos have been watched, how many times it's been watched, and you can set it for 48 hours. You can set it for 30 days, 28 days, or 28 days. I think it is. And a short word from our collaborator, Totally Tori here. She just recently got her first ink done. For those of you that can see that is very fresh. That's less than 24 hours old. And it's inscribed the word bug, because her childhood nickname was Bug. My daughter's nickname is Bug. Go figure.
Mom was in the
So.
My papa called me that, by the way. By the way, guys, I just dyed my hair again.
Yeah, she's going back to the redhead. But anyway, those of you that do run a YouTube channel, if you're already making a profit off of your YouTube channel, YouTube Studio may not be for you. You more than likely already have a handle on things, seeing that you're making money off of it. But for those of you that just do it like as a hobby or what have you, and something to occupy your free time, like I do, if my YouTube channel ever does become, what is it, monetized?
Yeah, monetized.
If my channel ever does become monetized, and I start getting the ability to sell promotional stuff, I don't know, I may get rid of YouTube Studio. But for those of you that have YouTube channels, YouTube Studio is it's an awesome companion app to have, and it'll tell you your audience. For example, my audience is 95% United States. The other 5% make up United Kingdom.
Australia.
I think at one point in time, United Arab Emirates,
Mexico.
Australia, Mexico. There's like 4% in Mexico. Who in Mexico is watching my videos? It's like 4%. Anyway, some of it's from United Kingdom. I think a buddy of mine that I met on Xbox Live is responsible for that. Thanks, bud. So anyway, let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Enough about that. According to my YouTube Studio, I have more views on my product reviews. Not too long ago, I published a video. There was a product review of the Ripe Vapes Nic Salt. Now, that being said, it seems that Ripe Vapes is pretty popular, and I didn't know that. I have 2 mobile apps on my phone that I use to shop for my vaping needs. Number one, because there are no tobacco shops no vape shops. I mean, the only thing that I can find is the cheap off-brand 15 milliliter bottles in gas stations. That's all the vape I can find in this area. So I order online to get pretty decent fluid for a decent price. You know, I don't want to pay astronomical prices for something that I can go down the road and get for $10. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay $30 and get $10 product. So I just recently got a new vape mod. Now, in the world of vaping, just like anything else, if you're talking cars, you have your top name brands: Ford, Chevrolet, Audi. If you're talking video games, you have your top name brands: Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. Vaping is no different. You have your top name brands. There's Smock, Aspire, Kangertech. One of those name brands that I really didn't know much about to begin with was Eleaf. Now, I don't know what you guys' opinion is of Eleaf, but this is a legit Eleaf iStick Pico Mega. Now, I had a Kangertech K-Box Mini powder blue. It had a bottom fill tank. It was a tank similar to this one. I'll show you this tank in a moment. But instead of it being where you screw off the top and then fill it from the top, you actually had to take it apart like the old school EVOD to take the bottom off, fill it, put it back together, and then put it back on your mod. That was the only downfall of that particular mod. Unfortunately, that mod got stolen. I left it on front porch one day after a couple hours walking uptown with my fiance, totally Tori. We went shopping for a little bit. I come back home. I'm putting everything on charge. And I'm like, you know what? My K-Box probably needs charging too. I go back to get it off the porch. Poof, it's gone. So I got this to replace my K-Box. First things first. For $19.99, this is what I paid on eBay. $19.99. The mod fits in the palm of your hand. I chose brushed silver. Or maybe this is just regular silver. I don't know. But just going from the features, it has an enlarged back. This is where your battery goes right here. Tank goes right here. Takes a standard 510 thread. The fire button right here is kind of oversized. It has a LED display. Right now I have it on a certain fire mode, and I'll go through that in a moment. It is a variable voltage. Here are your buttons in the bottom, plus minus. It takes your standard adapter, just like an Android smartphone. All in all, the craftsmanship is pretty good. I'm actually kind of impressed. I paid $19.95 for this particular mod. I got it. I think I got the mod in like 3 days. The contact point and the threads is actually, you know, pretty well made, at least in my experience. Now, let's take a look at the battery, shall we?
By the way, that is fantastic, and it's not made by Apple.
Yeah, it's called an iStick Pico Mega. There is an iStick Pico that I believe goes up to 30 watts. This particular one goes up to 80 watts. And just goofing around when I first got it, I think I had taken it out of the box like maybe 5 minutes. And I'm like, let's see what this puppy can do. And at the time, I had the Kangertech OCC coil in, 0.5 ohm. And I turned it just high as it would go. I'm like, let's see what this can do. And as soon as I hit it, it burned my lips, it burned my tongue. The coil was totally gone. Just that one hit. I think I hit it for 3 seconds. I mean, it's pretty powerful to be so small. And to be, what am I thinking, battery powered? To be sub-ohm, to be 510 sub-ohm compatible. Most 510 sub-ohm devices are not that powerful. Most, in my experience, at least from what I can tell, most of your powerful ones are going to be the higher rated dual battery, maybe even 3 battery RDA type devices, or even your mechanical mods like the B-God. But anyway, there's the compartment. The battery compartment is totally built in. There is no magnetic clamp or whatever. If you can see it right there, the threads where the cap screws down into it. Threads are not on the outside, threads are on the inside. It literally screws down into it, which I think is awesome because if you ever do change your battery, this mod is designed to keep your battery inside it. You do not have to change your battery. This mod is designed that you can keep your battery in it. When you're done, it has in its different firing modes, it has a display here to tell you exactly where your battery's sitting at. Now, a lot of mods with LED display have that, but this one is amazingly accurate. It goes down in increments of like, I think 5%. So every 5% of your battery, it'll tick down, tick down, tick down, tick down. And when it finally gets so low that it's not able to fire like you want it to, it'll flash weak. It'll still fire, but it'll just flash weak battery saying, hey, dude, kind of low. It's not going to hit like you want it to, but here's what you get. Now, I use the Samsung you know what? Screw that. The Samsung 30Q. The wrapping is pink. Yes, it's pink. I got this because it was cheap. I could have gotten the
he got me because I was cheap.
Ass. I could have gotten the green Samsung 25R, which most of you that vape use the Samsung 25R, the green battery. But these were cheap. I think for $25, I got 2 batteries and a single charger. It's not a bad price. And this is the tube. Let's see if it. Ah, it does. Okay, you know what? The heck with that idea. It has a plastic battery tube. Yes, plastic. Now, most of you might think, that's kind of cheap made, bro. No, not at all. Plastic is a very, very good insulator. That means that it blocks electricity, both AC, which is household, lights, TV, refrigerator, and DC. DC is a closed circuit connection, such as a car, a cell phone, or a vape line. Now, this plastic case keeps positive away from the negative, or hot away from the ground. Give me just a moment to, your mouth running. Well, I think that's the negative. And that would be positive. Hold on, guys. I'm finna double check because I have not taken that battery out since I took the mod out of the box. Give me just a moment. My box is over here where I keep all my boxes. And by the way, I can show you the box that it comes in. Okay. Sitting up like that, so close to the camera, kind of looks like an Xbox 360. Okay, here's the box that it comes in. There's the symbol for Eleaf. Yeah, see, it has multiple different color schemes. You can get it in black, white, hot pink, silver, or gray. I chose silver because I happen to have a silver tank from another mod. But it comes mod only. And anyway, so I just need to check on this right quick to see how that daggone battery goes in there. Let's see. Okay, negative to the top. Alright. And then once you have your battery in there, positive to the bottom, negative to the top, you just slide the tube in there. Do not force it. Do not force it. Wiggle it around till you feel it kind of grab. Once you feel it grab and it doesn't pull back out, tighten it just a little bit and then give it a little pull. There you go, you're in business. And tighten it, keep tightening, keep tightening, keep tightening until you feel it really grab. And then you're in business. The LED light will come on. Now, I know about 3 of the firing modes. This puppy has a total of 5 different firing modes. And I think that if you include bypass, it has 6. Yes, it has a bypass firing mode. When you arm it when you set it to it has a bypass firing mode. What that means is, with bypass, it completely bypasses the transformers. And my dog's over here crunching Cheetos in my ear. Okay, let's see here now. I mean, this thing is just for $20. So for $20, this thing has so many features. And really and truly, I haven't experimented with it. I haven't played around with it very much. I'm a very simple guy. If it does the job that I want it to do, I'm happy. Now, all right, starting from page 1. Power on off. First, you have to install the battery. We just did that. Now, most vape mods are universal in this. There are a handful that are different. For example, I did a review on this not too long ago. This is my VE cigarette. This one, you just tap the button 3 times, 2, 3, and it's off. 1, 2, 3, and it's on. This one is 5, just like most standard vaping mods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Power's off. See, nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Power's back on. Okay. And then, of course, it has all the safety notes about lithium-ion batteries, yada, 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 yada. It has a stealth mode. If you press the fire button and the down button, by the way, right here on the bottom are up and down, up and down. All right, press fire and down. And it says stealth on. What stealth mode, might you ask? If you want to hit it, let's do it this way. Yes, I realize that's an exposed coil. I'll explain that in a minute. Look. For those of you that may not be able to hear this, I'm going to... And you can see, but look, nothing in the display. Now we go back down here. Hit your fire and down at the same time. Stealth mode is now off. Now let me get right back here by the speaker, or by the microphone. And you see this. And now it's actually... Alright.
You should do a video on how to burn out a coil.
I think I just did. But we're going to go through all that in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Adjustment button. These are your adjustment buttons. This thing goes up to 80 watts. If you hold down both buttons at the same time, it will lock. Now what that means is you can monkey around with the up and down buttons all day long, but while it's locked, it's not going to change. Now that's very convenient for those of us that, use the cup holder in your car, or say if you have your bottle of fluid in your pocket and you stick your vape mod in your pocket, you're not pushing buttons and changing the wattage. You hit 20 watts on your 15-minute break, and then you go to lunch and you're hitting 60 watts, like. So it's actually kind of nice that it's able to lock like that. Once you find a voltage or a wattage that you like, that it puts out the cloud that you want, a comfortable hit, comfortable kick, comfortable inhale, you can just lock it in and you're good. Switch to display mode. Keep pressing the up button and down button simultaneously for 2 seconds. When the device is powered off, screen display will rotate 180 degrees. I did not know that. Hold on. Alright, you know what? I'm spending too much time with that. I'll monkey with it later on. But apparently that lets you switch the display around, you know, kind of like the tilt in your phone, your tablet. Switching vaping modes. This is where it gets interesting. In VW mode, the device can support a coils of whose resistance is 0.1 to 3.5 ohms. And the wattage can be adjusted from 1 watt to 80 watt. That is the smart mode. That's most commonly what I use. In bypass. In bypass, it pulls straight off the battery. Whatever the battery puts out is what it will burn. Kind of like my smock stick. Now this is where it gets complicated. In TCNI, TCTI, TCSS, or TCR, the M1, the N2, the N3 mode, the device can separately support nickel 200 titanium stainless steel 316 coils. The TCR temperature coefficient of resistance mode, the device can support different temperature control coils within different TCR value ranges, and you can set the TCR at different values within proper range. And then it goes on to talk about temperature settings, and the booklet is super helpful for those of you that use those type coils. I just use standard 7 ohm coils. Adjust temperature, shift between, lock and unlock. And here you go. The USB port here in the bottom will not only allow you to charge it, it will also allow you to update its firmware. That's the first I've ever heard of a VapeMon being able to update firmware. There's of course a warranty with it. It has a number of protections on it, which is what you would expect from a standard vape. Now, it has an atomizer protection. Each time when vaping exceeds 10 seconds, the output will shut off. That's pretty common. Most regulated vape mods have that. Atomizer alert. When resistance of the coil is lower than 0.01 ohm, in VW or bypass mode, or lower than 0.05 ohm in TC, the screen will display atomizer low. Atomizer short circuit and no atomizer. When atomizer short circuit occurs, the screen will display atomizer short. When the screen will display no atomizer when there is no atomizer connected. Low voltage protection. When the voltage of the cell is below 3.3 volts, that's like close to dead, the screen will first display battery low and then lock. Charge the cell to unlock the device. Temperature protection. That's in your TC modes. Temperature alert. If the temperature of the device is over alert temperature, the output will shut off automatically and this screen will display device too hot. And then weak battery. In all vaping modes, when the device is working with an atomizer and at a voltage of the cell drops below 2.9 volt, screen will display weak battery. Okay. Well, and then it goes on to French. What language? It's got a couple of other languages in there, but yes, this is the Eleaf iStick Pico Mega. It goes up to 80 watts. I typically will leave it on 40 because 40 is what my particular tank can handle. Now check this. To switch between modes, 1, 2, 3, and then it shows smart, temperature NI, temperature TI, temperature SS, temperature M1, M2, M3, wattage. Wattage is your standard of these particular devices, at least from what I have noticed. And it has a nice little display here. It shows what wattage you're at. Right now I'm at 35. there's a little battery bar, and right on top of the battery bar, it will show the resistance in your coil, which I think is pretty nice. Bypass mode. Bypass mode, it shows the resistance of the device right over here. Nope, wrong side. It shows the resistance of the device right up here. Right up underneath that, it shows what the output of your battery is. I have roughly half a charge right now, so my battery is putting out 3.59 volts. Set it back smart. So it's light, it's small, it's portable, it fits in the pocket comfortably. The buttons are not in any kind of awkward positions. And as always, if you're in any kind of environment where you're worried about buttons being pushed, just turn it off. It's not that difficult to do. You can actually turn it off in mid vape, like when you're coming inside from your lunch break, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back in your pocket. So that is the iStick Pico Mega. It goes from 1 watt up to 80 watts. 80 watts is pretty. It has some pretty good output. When I first got it, I turned it up to 80 watts, just playing around to see what it was capable of. And in a brand new, an 0.5 OCC coil, I burned it just that quick. So make sure that whatever wattage you want to use it on, make sure your coil can handle it. So what you think? Leave me a comment. If you like what I do, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, so hit that subscribe button. I try to upload about 3 times a week. Sometimes life gets in the way. I'm sorry, I'm human. Things happen. I have a full-time job and a family to take care of. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, always it's a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this. This is Christopher Lamar. See you next time.